Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Circus Playbook. Today, we've got a very special guest who's laughing at me already, Ela Bartilomo. She is an amazing acrobat, currently working in House of Dancing Water, and I'm very excited to hear all about her adventures. I haven't seen her in a while, but me and Ella go way back. Ella, welcome.
What's up? No, okay, but hi, I'm Ella. Yeah, we already said. Thanks for having me, Elise. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank
That
you for
sounded
joining
sarcastic, but it really
me.
is.
All the way from Macau, and I hope that, yeah, this works. The audio, the sound, the cameras, we're having some slight technical difficulties, being
One
the
side is
tech whiz that
unprofessional.
I am. I'm a tech whiz with this, clearly. So, Ella,
So,
how how long have you been a circus performer for?
okay, I'm counting from when I started training. 15 years. That's when I started training circus,
15.
but
Yes.
performing professionally, minus five of that. 10? 10 years, I'm
10
gonna
years.
say.
And
Sprinkle.
how long have you dreamed of working in House of Dancing Water for?
Oh, you know what? Okay, I'll tell the story. You want to hear it? Yeah, okay, tell me.
Yes, we
So,
want to hear the story.
let's hear it. Okay, when I first started training circus, this was when I was like 12, no, maybe 13. My family was like, let's go to China on a holiday. And I was like, okay, bet. So we went and we saw two shows, Shanghai Circus, which my family still talks about to this day. And it was like 2012 when we watched this. And we saw House of Dancing Water. And both of them, I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Yep, this is it. And we went to see the circus shows because I just started training circus. And my mom was being cute. She
Yeah.
was like, let's go. And but like for the whole time that that show existed, there was never like a profile that I fit into because there was just like air flyer, high diver, Russian swing, something. So I was like, la la la. But then I saw like 2 years ago that they were doing applications for characters in Aerialist, and actually I missed the Aerialist application because I was on a cruise ship. So then I just applied for a character, and then obviously I didn't get it in the first round. I didn't hear anything because I applied so late. And then, like 6 months later, they messaged me and were like, "Hey, you still want a job?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then that's it. But they already started creation. Like everyone was already here. Like I had a friend in the show, Rahini. Shout
Yeah.
out. And
I love
she was like,
Rahini.
yeah, yeah, they're casting more aerialists, la la la. And I was like, okay, so here we go. So, and when I arrived, sorry, I'm just going on a tangent, but let me fill you in. When I arrived, everyone was like already friends and like had their groups because 7 months, that's a long
Yeah.
time to like
It's
know
a long
everyone. So
time.
I came in and I was like trying to people please and stuff. So intimidating. But yeah, that's it.
But was this so what was the feeling when you got the call, well, you got the email saying you've got the job?
Oh yeah, there was a
Describe that
build up.
feeling because it's an amazing feeling for artists that have experienced this. Getting your
It
dream
is.
contract is
Because
it's
you know
like
what?
nothing else.
True. And they told me that I had to film the strength and conditioning and stuff and the dance, a dance choreography. I'm not a dancer, but I had to film it in 2 days. And I was like, and then I waited like 5 weeks or something like that. They always do that, so long to wait. And you're like in
Really?
anticipation. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I got it. I don't know if I got it. And I was like waiting to hear back from two different companies. And neither of them were contacting me. And I was like, what am I going to do? Meltdown, trying to fill my time. And I was like, maybe I'm moving. Maybe I'm not. So like I started packing a bag, which is so embarrassing because like I didn't even have the job yet. And I was like,
No,
yeah, I'm
I
gonna go.
think
I'm
that's
gonna get
good.
it.
Like manifestation, you're bringing it into existence
Yes.
subconsciously,
I was manifesting hard. When I tell you, like every day for those like 4 weeks, I was every night manifesting.
visualizing.
I'm so happy that I got the job. Thank you, universe, for giving me my dream job. Blah blah blah. And then I still hadn't heard
It's
anything, and I
good.
was like, oh,
It's
messaging Rahini every day. Hey, do you know anything? La la la. And then, and I surfed so much during this period because the only thing that was taking my mind off it was surfing. So I was going like 3, 4 hours a day, sometimes two sessions just to like take my mind off it. Yeah, unemployment. I
Hmm.
know. Looks good on me. Ugh. Um, so I was just going, and then I remember one surf session, I was like checking my phone, like Gmail, update, update, update. Oh, nothing. And then I put my phone down, and then I waxed my surfboard, and I was like, okay, one more check of my phone, and then I'll go surf. And then I picked it up, and I was like, and I started screaming in the car park at Crumb and Alley, if you guys know where that is in the Gold Coast. And this lady looked at me like, I was like, and she was like, mind you, I was alone, just cheering in the car park. I was like, oh, I can't describe this to someone; they won't
Yeah.
understand. But yeah,
That's
nice feeling.
incredible.
And
No,
then, like
and
2 days later, I flew out.
yeah, 2 days. Woo,
It was
lucky you were packed already, ready to go.
exactly ready to my going away party 4 weeks in advance. So.
Oh, really? Or did you? Before you got the job or after you got the job? I was gonna say that's a commitment to manifestation.
Before I got the job.
You threw, you threw a goodbye, but really? You actually did that? That's
Yeah,
impressive.
because I decided that even if I don't get it, I was going to leave the country.
Wow. But you told everyone you had the job, or you just said, this is my going
No,
away party?
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Is that
Wow.
psychotic? No.
No, I think it's true commitment to your belief that you're going to get what you deserve, what you've
I
applied
knew I
for,
was
what
going
you've
to get
worked
it.
hard.
I was
Yeah,
like, I had the feeling.
this is it.
So,
Yeah, the feeling. That's great. And I know that for all those artists out there that they're waiting for that, I think just keep pushing, keep trying because it will happen. It will happen. I mean, how long did you wait to get
yeah.
your dream job?
Oh, yeah. Well, I worked for other jobs that were my
Hmm.
dream at some point in my life. But,
Hmm.
yeah, what, 2012 to 2025 for a show that I really wanted to do.
It's a
I'm not
decent
calculating
wait.
that. You can calculate it. I'm not going to do all the work here on this podcast, okay? I could, but I don't want to. Um, but I also message them a lot. Like, I am not the
Yeah,
type of person to sit back and wait. Like, I do not do that. If I want something, I will
yeah.
be like, hi again, hi again, hi. I'm just sending another thing, even though you didn't
Persistence.
ask for it. Here you go, here you go. And it makes, I mean, imagine you're receiving that and you're like, this girl
Yeah,
is fucking, and she really wants this job.
it's
Maybe we should get her
yeah,
because you want to hire someone who wants a job, you know? You don't want to hire
you
someone who's like,
do.
I don't care.
It's true. You really need to be persistent. I mean, almost to the point that you're annoying, and you don't want to be annoying, obviously, but you can send follow-up emails, polite emails, send more information, more videos, just a gentle reminder, show them how enthusiastic you are because they want someone that's going to last the distance, that's going to be willing to push through the difficult times,
Mm.
that's going to work hard because they wanted it so bad. They're not going to get
Yeah.
tired of it in 6 months, you know? People want to see that.
Especially
So,
especially this contract's 2 years long. So especially for long
yeah.
contracts, they need
Oh,
to know you.
definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time to commit to something, and they invest in you as well when they train you, they work with you. So that's their time as well. So they want to make sure that you're going to stay, survive mentally and physically for the whole duration of the contract.
Time is money,
So,
baby.
yeah, it's true. And tell me more about your previous contracts. I know you were in
Mm,
Circa
mm.
and a few other
Okay, let's go through it.
shows,
So,
companies.
because I started, there's a company called Circuit Contemporary Circus. Shout out,
Yes.
cookies. That was their youth troupe. That's where I started. So I was in like a
Yeah.
performance troupe as soon as I started training circus. I was performing
How
like
old?
straight away.
How old were you then?
13, 12, 13. And
Okay.
like after
Pretty
kind of a
young.
couple of months of knowing how to do
Hmm.
absolutely nothing, I'm out there on stage, walking around. I don't even know. It should not have been,
What were you
but let's go.
doing?
Queen Street Mall,
Were you a
roving.
tree in the background?
I don't even freaking know what we did. We did everything in youth troop, like hula hoops, juggling, trapeze. Anyway, so then
Okay. I've never
after I
seen you
went to
juggle, but
NICA,
amazing.
I
Yeah.
can. I seen you
Can
juggle though,
you?
bitch.
Yeah,
I
my
know
juggling.
you do. So
I
what?
put a lot of time into that. I
You
put so
did.
much time into that group
I watched
juggling
this
at
girl.
Nika for 3 years
Oh,
consistently, and I've
yes.
never ever done it in a show.
Yes, that's the
I have done it
attitude.
on stage a few times, but yeah, it's okay. I never was really going for the group juggling as a
I
as
don't
a
know.
main discipline, but I do enjoy it. It's fun. Sorry, continue. I want to hear this story, this story.
And where did that no? Okay, so then after I went to NICA, I was like, I want to be in this ensemble because it was like
Hmm.
my whole goal for the whole time that when I was younger. Like I want to be in
Mm.
the ensemble, blah blah blah. And then straight out of NICA, I was so lucky. I got a contract with them for a year, and I ended up
Hmm.
staying with them for 3 years. So this was full like NICA's
Nice.
contemporary circus world, my training's contemporary circus world, and then 3 years contemporary, the most
Hmm.
contemporary of the contemporary circus possible. Then kind of like I guess it was COVID. Yeah, it was like COVID time, and I was like, oh, I'm so burnt out. I need a break from this. I've been doing it for so long,
Mm.
fully quit circus altogether. I was like, nah, I don't know. I'm just like uninspired. I don't know. When I
Mm.
left the company, it just was something I don't even know how to explain it, but it was not a good moment for me. So I needed to step back and
Hmm.
take a break. So I ended up taking a whole year of circus, and I was a freaking tradie,
I
little
remember
tradie
that.
construction girl era, with
The
blonde
outfits look
platinum
good.
hair, like trying to
You
pretend like
pull it
to be
off.
a boy, so no one caught on like she's the man, I'm in
Oh my
like my
God.
hard hat. I'm like tucking all my hair under, like no one's
I
gonna.
think they might have known.
No, one time someone looked at me and they're like, "Oh, can you grab that, mate?" And then I was like, "Yeah, mate."
Mate.
And then he looks at me. He's like, "You're a girl," because they just come on site, and I was like, "Yeah." Uh,
Wow. You can pull it off then, tuck the hair away and then
Big baggy clothes. Yeah, yeah, you can get away with
Oh
it.
wow.
Anyway,
And so you
then
didn't do any training during this time? No training.
no, and I literally was so burnt out that I was like, I will not even go into a bridge. When I went to yoga classes, and they started doing inversions or bridges, I was like, no, not for me. I'm just gonna lie
Bridge tip.
here. Like I was so like off it. I didn't want to hear
Wow.
it.
It's like a rebellion.
Yeah, I was like anything apart from
Yeah.
that is what I'm gonna be doing. I focused on my art a lot. Like I've never my whole life stopped being creative. Like that
Yeah.
year, I also really went into like ceramics and digital art and drawing
Oh,
and painting,
yeah.
and I was like, that's why I thought,
That's
yeah, that's where I'm gonna go.
amazing.
Then I realized that nothing makes me as happy as circus, but I was like, I need to change how I'm doing it though. And like
Hmm.
in the contemporary circus world, I think there's a stigma about commercial and corporate circus. Do you agree?
Yes, yes, there is.
People, it's like a
It's
cult like.
it's more prevalent in Australia though. It's not like
Mm,
that overseas. I don't know Australia has a very strong contemporary approach to things in
yes.
general, I think, especially in the arts. The
Yeah.
artists and just the arts in general in Australia, it's a very like contemporary vibe, slightly hipster, slightly
Yeah.
alternative, and then they can actually, not everybody obviously, but there's like almost like a judgment towards anyone that does anything that might
Yes.
look a bit too commercial, a bit too
Yeah.
sparkly, a bit too glamorous, a bit too put together. It's interesting, and a lot of the contemporary circuses are very, you can see in the costuming, very minimalistic, white, beige,
Oh,
just
what?
nothing, just yeah, it's a very interesting dynamic that I actually haven't seen anywhere else.
No.
There's obviously a contemporary scene in other countries, especially in Europe, but there isn't the same almost stigma attached to not being contemporary, is what I've experienced, other than in Australia. I'm not sure why that
Yeah.
is. It's
And like
interesting though. Very interesting.
when I first started mentioning, maybe I want to go into the commercial world, everyone in contemporary circus
Yeah.
around me were like, "You're a sellout. Oh, you don't care
It's
about
not.
art. You're more creative than that. Come on, why don't you like? Are you serious? Like you're just gonna be a sellout like everyone else? Like wow, this look. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I just want to try something different.
Yeah.
Jesus. And I actually would
And
love to
there's
be
nothing
paid
wrong with
properly,
that. Yeah, exactly.
especially the freelance contemporary circus world in Australia is
Yes.
cooked. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It's
So
difficult
I was
because
like,
you
yeah,
need to survive. You need to survive. And I actually copped a bit of slack for it as well, even in
yeah,
Nika, because I was always doing a lot of
you
corporate
always were.
performances,
Mhm.
and people would sort of make fun of any post or anything that I made. It was at the sparkles, and yeah, you made fun of me at one point. I remember that, and I was
Of
like, just
course.
you wait. I'm pretty sure I was like, don't worry, one day you'll be doing it too. Don't worry, one day
And
you'll
I
be
was
full
like,
of
no
glitter
way in
and
hell.
sparkles. Yeah,
I was
everybody,
like,
and you weren't the
see?
only one. Because at the end of the day, it's a career. You need to be able to eat. You need to be able to fund your training, survive, and you want to be healthy and happy so you can promote and help other people. You can't help other people if you can't even put food on your own table. So and also, you're still entertaining people. People love to see that. People love to see the sparkle and
They
the
do.
makeup, and it's a different approach, and it's
I love
completely
it.
fine. You're at the end of the day, you're entertaining the audience. So as long as they're happy and they're entertained, you've done your job. It's not just
Totally.
about, and you can still be as artistic as you want and express it in any way you want, but there's no wrong or right way to approach art. I think that's the
Yeah.
most important takeaway. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And
I want to hear more about
this
this.
this
So,
like entertainment is an art thing. It's not true. I think like the best thing to do
mm,
with your career is follow your actual taste because my taste started shifting. I
mm,
didn't like watching contemporary circus anymore, and I started getting like going to these really like commercial shows, and I was like, this is so
mm.
fun. Like, what the hell? I'm into this. And I was like,
It's
maybe I
fun,
want to.
yeah, for
It's
sure.
really fun to watch, especially like cabarets
Mm.
and things like this where people are just
Yeah, I love it.
yeah.
And the audience have a great time. And the thing is, you evolve as a performer and as an artist when you approach
Yes.
different styles. And
You
until you
need to.
enable yourself to go there, you can't really reach your full potential. I've done shows that were like sexy,
Yes.
glamorous,
Yes.
nightclubs, contemporary, traditional. You need to do everything, all
Everything.
different
I'm still
variations of
missing.
everything to really
Yes.
get the full experience, to learn how to be a character and move in a particular genre. And it's so important to improve your repertoire, to develop your skills as an artist.
True.
And it's so fun. It's a
So
really,
fun. So much
it's
more
just,
like, especially if you've been doing
especially
something
when you're
for
out of
so
your comfort
long.
zone. Exactly.
Yeah. You can't just do one genre. You can't do one
No,
apparatus. You need to like,
people
you need to do
do. People
small
do.
shows, big shows,
Yeah,
funny shows,
everything.
serious shows. I'm missing
Yes.
traditional circus, but I will tick that off. Just but I've
You
done
will do
everything
it.
else.
Do And it's a great experience, and I'm so grateful for the experience I had performing in a traditional circus. And it's character building too, and you need that. You need
Cleaning the
all of it.
poo.
Yes, I think I have a
Yes,
video somewhere of me.
I think I
Yes, that
have it
was
as well
amazing. I
in
do
my
have a
Elise
video
folder.
somewhere of me, great, of me cleaning out the caravan cassette, changing that. It wasn't even mine. And that was a great
Oh,
experience to empty the cassette into the public toilet. So,
nice.
it really, yes, it was towards
Really
the end of the
gangster.
contract too. I was like, this is great. But you learn so much working in
Yeah,
the canteen, selling Dagwood dogs, popcorn, fairy floss, you
you're
know.
yeah, really
And then they're
humbled.
like, "Are you in the show?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'll be back in after this intermission." But you learn a lot about yourself as a person and what you can
Yeah.
work through
And you're blowing
and
kisses to the people you just served a Dagwood dog to, and you're like,
yes, and it's a different experience. And then when you do work in a different show where you're not driving around looking for a laundromat, for example, which I used to have to do because when you're living in a caravan, which I was, there's no laundry in there. So you're driving around. My Saturday night was, okay, where's the laundromat? Be there with my dog. Going, I
it's
hope I
giving
don't get
glamour.
murdered now. But it's an experience. It's a really good experience. And then when you're on another contract where you have your own washing machine, you're like, wow, I
Wow.
won't take this
Wow.
washing machine for
That's the
granted
thing.
because I've had to
The
drive around looking for one.
the yeah, some of the worst contracts make the best contracts better, you know? Put
It's
that on
true.
a
It's
t-shirt.
true. But also
It-
just the yeah, I like that. I'd buy that top. But also it's actually just what you learn on stage and the people you work with. And there were some incredible artists in that show as well. And you build these connections with those people. You know, you make these lifelong friendships and you push yourself to learn a different style of movement. But anyway, I'm a big fan of versatility. So tell me
Yes.
more about
Right.
your eye-opening experience to different genres
Yes.
and
So my first experience breaking free, a proper experience breaking free from contemporary mold
yeah.
is I worked in a five-star resort in Turkey. The resort's called
Yes.
Max Royale. Oh
Hmm.
my God, that was a taste of the luxury life. Wow. We didn't live in the resort, but we lived
Yeah.
just outside of it. And
Okay.
oh, like when I say five-star, like it was the most beautiful resort in Turkey. And everyone
Nice.
said, "Oh, wow, you're working at that resort. That's like the most amazing one." And it was
Hmm.
private beach. There was two of them, one in Khmer, one in Antalya. And
Yeah.
there was like goats, and we had mango mochi, and we had like the all you can eat buffet, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I had smoked
Ooh,
salmon, oysters,
buffet.
lobster, fried squid, like
Nice.
pad thai, fried rice, anything I wanted.
It's
And I could go to
important.
the
Well
pool
fed.
every day. We had a training space. We had sometimes we would go to the beach and we'd go jet skiing or like yeah,
Yeah.
it was just awesome. And we had only one day off a week. But on that day off we like rented a car and we'd go to the canyons and it was like
Oof.
wow, it was amazing. And in the show, I was like, okay, I don't even. I it was fun. Like I was doing every discipline that I have ever trained in my life. I did
Yeah.
moon, rope, web, silks, aerial director's chair, aerial moon. Oh yeah, I said that. Aerial director's chair,
It's good.
aerial bell, uh, aerial picture frame,
Picture
contortion
frame.
on a like rotating disc, handstand,
Nice.
foot archery, tumbling, and I think that's it. Is that it? Yes, that's it. So it's a
But
lot.
see, versatility is important. And
Yeah,
I'm glad you
it is.
embraced that.
And
And
it
I think
was
that would
so
have helped you get
fun.
a job at House of Dancing Water as well, for
Exactly.
sure.
It was three, yeah. So anyway, so I did this for 6 months. I'm not going to go
Hmm.
into the end of that contract because not all contracts end the way that you want them to. And this one
Oh,
definitely was an
okay.
interesting one. So we'll just leave that for another time, huh?
I
Shout
think we
out to
will
the
have to
company if you're
revisit that in
listening. No,
another
yeah.
podcast.
Maybe we can do a whole
Secrets
episode.
Revealed podcast at a later date.
Yeah. But it was really a beautiful contract and like I am so
Hmm.
grateful for that because it opened my eyes. I met artists from around the world who like I mean before this it was stupid. I didn't even work with that many international artists and then it was like what
Mm.
13 countries in the one show. So I'm learning from these like world-class Ukrainian,
Nice. Yeah.
Belarusian, B-boy, poppers from France, from Taiwan, everywhere. And yeah, it was really cool. I trained with, this was also when I started loving breakdancing. I trained with these two B-boys and
Mm.
shout out, Gael and Junior. Um,
Nice. I know Gail,
um,
yeah.
oh, you know Gael, true. And a
Yeah.
tricker called Dennis,
Small
and they taught me a
industry.
lot. Um,
Uh-huh.
Also, when you're in a sunny, beachy place, it's hard not to be
It
happy. So, yeah.
it makes a big difference. It really does.
Yeah. I'll
Like the
say
weather,
pick
the
your
warm weather.
contracts. If you're doing long term, try to pick
Yeah.
a warm place because I did
Yeah.
Berlin for 6 months and oof, that was hard not to get depressed. Just with the weather
It's hard.
alone, I was like, shit, so sad.
Yeah, I
But
did
here,
Alaska for 6 months
oh,
in winter.
no,
On the
no,
cruise
catch me
ship. Yeah.
dead in Alaska.
That was rough, but a good character building experience. The shows were
Yeah.
great, but the oof, Alaska
On a ship?
is a nice place for 1 week. Yeah, on a ship. Yeah, to live there for a while is Most of the time, I didn't even get off the ship. Or if I did, it was to go to an internet cafe. That was it.
Ah,
And then get back on the ship and
true.
train. Yeah, it was
That's ships though.
it
I
was
also did a
fun.
ship and it was
Yeah.
similar. Like you can't really, sorry, no offense, but I am team resort over team ship. I've done both and resorts are superior. Ships are floating prison in my experience.
But you can save a lot of money, and I know a lot of
Yeah,
people that have bought houses after doing multiple ship contracts and saving everything. And also it depends, it's luck of the draw. It depends on the cruise director, it depends on the ship, it depends on the location, on your cabin
true.
conditions, whether you're sharing or not sharing. I mean, these seem like little details, but they're massive
They're
when you're
massive.
stuck there for 6 months. So,
And I wish I'd known
yeah,
what to ask for
yeah,
before I went, like to be able to.
same. So, but
So
you
let's
don't
go
know in the
through it. Shall we
beginning.
say?
Let's go through
Okay,
it.
this is,
Let's go through it to help people
let's
who are
go
thinking
through it.
about whether or not to do a cruise ship. I would recommend it for the experience, definitely. But
Yeah,
and they are it is a competitive industry. It's not that easy to get a ship, so you don't want to be
no,
too much of a diva, but you can politely request certain things and see if they are willing to offer you these, you know, upgrades, whether you can get your own cabin, for example. I think that's
own cabin, number
important,
one.
and it's very
Number
important
one.
because it's
Do
your,
not take a shared cabin because I
yeah, I
literally
shared.
was with my, like someone who I love so much. And just the simple fact that she was like so good at sleeping and I was not made it so hard because she would
Oh,
sleep like 14
interesting.
hours a day and I slept like
Oof.
one and I was like, this bitch.
But you were
And I would just
obviously
watch
quiet.
her sleep
You,
like this.
oh God, you're sitting there watching her.
Sometimes she'd
Like,
wake up
huh,
and be like,
that's nice.
why are you watching me? And I'm like, you enjoying your sleep, little princess? Yeah, I haven't slept a wink. She's like, fuck. Rolls over, goes back to sleep. And I'm like, I'm
I was
gonna
about
kill
to say you sound
you.
like the perfect cabin mate, but I don't know if I'd like to wake up to someone just sitting there staring at me. That wouldn't be the
No, okay,
best,
so solo
but
cabin.
oof, solo cabin,
Being able
important.
to get off every port for at least 4 hours. Like, you need
Yeah.
to know,
You don't
because,
always get that, so it's
no,
important to find out.
to
And
make sure.
especially if you're contracted as a dancer. I was actually contracted
Yes.
as a dancer, even though I was doing circus as well as dancing. And it was like, this was back in 2011 or 2010. And I didn't really know any better, to be honest. And I'd auditioned as a dancer. So, and that was
Oh,
really competitive. So I was like, yay, okay, I'll share a cabin and
yeah.
everything. And ooh, I had
Okay.
different, yeah. Oh man, I have a whole story on that, but we'll go. Yeah, you go. I want to hear this.
Okay,
Cabin.
no crew duties, no like extra duties.
Or
You want to just
I
be
had
doing like,
all of the duties.
yeah, no, 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 no. Guest
Yeah,
access to gym and food
yeah,
places because you don't want to be
we
eating
did
in the
have.
crew
Yeah,
mess every day. You want to go to the buffet where the guests eat
oh, it's
because
true.
at
It's
least
true.
that food is like gonna give you some nourishment. Three, I would say go
It's
to a
better, better.
warm places because
Yeah,
already on a ship
definitely,
you don't get
definitely.
sunlight that much, especially if
No.
it's rocky conditions. They will close the doors. They will trap you in
Mm,
there and be like, "You may not exit. You may not vitamin D enter your system for 3 days." And
it's
and
true.
then if you're in a cold place and then eventually you can go outside, you're still not getting vitamin D. Already the food,
Yeah,
because it wants to stay on the ship, it's not enough nourishment.
it's
Warm
not enough
place
nourishment.
is ideal. I think, yeah,
Ideal, ideal.
ideal. What's the next one? Being able to. Hmm,
Check your contract. What are you contracted as? Are you contracted as a specialty act? Because that makes a big
that's
difference. Even though
ideal.
I was doing solos, I wasn't contracted as a specialty. So I didn't
Yes.
get the same privileges as those that were. And I had to
Yeah.
work way harder, do way more, and all the duties and other shows and everything else. And they could
No.
also, they sent me the contract when I was already on the ship, which is really weird. Don't do
Ooh,
that. Make sure
don't
you
do
get it
that.
beforehand. Read it
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah.
Because I had it written in there that they can call me anytime to get me to do any extra duty anytime they wanted. So it was basically an on-call I want to say slave. It
No,
wasn't slave, but
that's basically
it was
exactly
rough.
what you don't want. Yeah.
Yeah, so check the contract. I think that's number one. Check the
And when we
contract
say no
properly.
extra duties, it means like you don't want to be doing manning at the port when
Onboarding.
guests are getting on and off. You don't want to be doing the freaking
Doors. I did
the
doors.
yoga session and the gym sessions with the passengers like
I didn't
on the
have to do
jet.
that.
No.
Oh no, I did have to do onboard dancing, not yoga, but yes, I did have to do that. Doors was an
No.
interesting one. I just have this memory. There was one time where I was running late to doors and I was wearing heels because we had to be all dressed up at all times in passenger
Yes.
areas. And they had
Yeah,
just
that's
waxed the
yeah.
floor in the crew area and I didn't realize. I'm running, I slipped, I flew up, landed flat on my back. I like smashed my elbow and I was like bleeding. And I'm pretty sure I had a mild concussion because I hit my head very hard. And I'm like, and then I get to the door and I'm like, welcome, welcome. And someone's like, there's blood
Good
dripping
to
down
know.
your arm. And I was like, oh, sorry.
Oh,
And
sorry.
well, I didn't lick it, but it was not great. And looking back, I didn't even think to get my head checked or anything. I mean, that probably
Oh.
explains a lot, but no, I just stood there and I did the duties and yeah,
Mm.
it was brutal. So check the duties. What do they
Yeah,
want you to
and check
do?
out, yeah, I would say maximum. I was doing 12 shows a week. It was a lot.
That's a
10
lot.
is
That's a lot.
okay. 12 is too much. Plus
It's
extra
a
like
lot.
pop-ups. I would also say bring your freaking supplements. I don't know, on my
Ooh,
ship,
yeah.
I was not allowed, but I just bring melatonin
Oh,
at least.
really? You
Yeah,
weren't allowed to buy it on port and bring it on?
no. So
I
just
didn't even
try to get
try, to
as
be
much
honest.
approved before you get on as
Mm,
possible. Even if like maybe I shouldn't say this, but like if you have sleeping problems, probably they're going to be worse on the ship just because of the
yeah.
conditions. So get a prescribed sleeping tablet and get it checked off with the ship and the company
Ooh.
so that if you need to top up, it's
Mm.
pre-allocated. You need to
You're gonna
bring
have a
fancy
sleeping
clothes.
tablet for 6 months straight?
No, just for emergencies.
Okay, emergencies. Yeah,
Yeah.
emergencies is good.
Bring
But
fancy clothes and
definitely
heels.
earplugs. And yes, fancy clothes,
Earplugs.
heels, earplugs. Very
Uh,
essential. Curtain for around if you are sharing a room and you have
that's
a bunk
good.
bed, which I did. I had curtains all the
Mm.
way around from top to bottom to make sure that I had at least my enclosed tiny little area. It makes
You
a
had
big
bunk
difference.
beds? Ooh,
We had bunk beds. That's
that's
brutal.
rough.
But
Living in
it meant
guest
that I could
cabin, not so nice.
enclose my area. Yeah, guest
It's
cabin's
nice.
great. Is at
It's
least,
good.
I
Yeah,
mean,
get
at
a
least you
guest.
have
Check for
a
guest
window. We
cabin
didn't have
guests.
windows. Yes,
We didn't
guest
either.
cabin. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh wow, in a guest cabin you had no windows? I thought all
Yeah.
guest cabins had windows. I think it might depend on the
Mm,
ship or
yeah.
the tier of
Um,
guest.
bring also cute is like little
Nice
magnets so you can
clothes,
put
nice
memories on the
clothes,
wall.
nice
Shower
cl
filter.
and things like just things to make your cabin more livable,
Home.
pillows. But you can buy all that there. I bought that there. I bought pillows,
Fairy
blankets.
lights. Cute.
Yes, fairy lights. I did that in the caravan. Fairy lights make everything look pretty,
Mm,
especially if you're in a
yeah.
not nice sort of
Place.
cell. I want to say cell for a room. Cell is probably not the
So,
best word. If you're
not
not in the
that that's what
nicest
we're relating the
room,
contract to. Just
some of them, like in a small caravan or a small shared bunk bed on a cruise ship underneath, that's not a guest
yeah.
cabin. Cell is an appropriate description. It is very
But I
small,
will say I
and
loved the company that I worked for, Any Stage
that's good. That's good.
Creative.
Yeah.
Seriously beautiful, and I could not have done it without like working
Yeah,
for
that's
such a
amazing.
kind, supportive, such a cool company.
That's
I really love
that's the
them.
most important thing, honestly.
Yeah, just
If
the
you're with
ship
good
life,
people,
it's not for me,
mm,
but
the,
it is for
it's
some
not for
people,
everyone.
really. And I think
It,
the
yeah.
itinerary was too cold for me. We did like Japan and China, and it was,
Oh,
I
I
was
love
like, oh,
Japan though.
I know you do, little
And-
fluent girl.
At
Um,
least you got to travel though. You got to see the
yeah.
world, and that's a great experience. Did you learn
Oh, can
any
I tell you?
languages? Oh, wait, I want to hear this. Yes. Tell me, tell
Okay,
me.
we were talking about manifesting contracts and stuff, and I am the
Yes.
queen of manifesting contracts. Like, really, I
Oh,
really am. I got
okay.
this one,
This
and
is
I'll tell you
useful.
about another one I manifested, and I'll tell you exactly how I manifested it. Okay, so
Okay.
sometimes you need to just go internal. No, this was after Turkey. I was so depressed. I was like, that was my dream job. I'm never going to get a job as good as that ever again. And I didn't know what to do. I couldn't get any work. And I was just like, oh, what am I doing? I'm like in Montreal. This was like a month. I was so depressed. And then one night I was like, I'm just going to like think about what I want and I'm going to write it. And I didn't really like consciously think about it, but I let my brain think about it. Like I was like,
Mm.
I just went with what came. And what
Mm-hmm.
came was interesting because I'd never even thought that I wanted this in my life. But I was like, I really want to do a large scale show. Really large, that like it's going to be seen by everyone and like big audience and really spectacular. Like I wanted to do a spectacular show. I was like, okay, cool. And I was thinking, okay, where? And you're the only person that I actually knew in the UAE. So it's bizarre that that's the place that came to me. I was like, UAE. I hadn't even talked to you in ages. I was just like, okay, in UAE. And then I thought about this woman that I met like 2 years ago, and she was telling me that she choreographed. This was like 2 years before. She told me in like a 10-minute conversation. Oh yeah, I choreographed for this show in the UAE. It was so large scale. It was like in a big egg chair, and there was like fireworks and dances and tutters. And I was like, that sounds amazing. That's so cool. Didn't even really like. I think I had her on Instagram, but maybe she didn't have me, or vice versa. But like we didn't really know each other. I don't know. I thought about her, and then so I just like wrote her name down as well because she popped into my head. Oh, okay. And I was like, okay, what else? And I was like, okay, I want to be doing like kind of circus, but like not like I want it to be acting and circus. Oh, and I want it to be outdoors. So I wrote all this down, and I was like, that is so weird and specific, and no idea. Anyway, oh, depressed. Closed my book, threw it on the couch, cried myself to sleep.
Oh, so dramatic.
I woke up the next day. It was
Yeah.
my birthday, actually. And I woke
Oh,
up every time I wake up in the morning, I don't check my phone straight away. But I felt
no,
the urge,
neither.
I need to check my phone. I need to check my phone. And I go on Instagram and I
Oh,
get a message request. And I was like, okay, who's this from? It was from the woman that I was thinking about the day before. Mind you, 2 years without, I spoke to her for 10 minutes. Like it was really weird. And she sent me this
oh my
message.
God.
And she goes, hey, oh, she was following me. I wasn't following her, I think. And she was like, hey, this is super weird. I know I saw that maybe you're in Turkey or something on this contract, but on the off chance that you're not anymore, uh, it's very random, but I was wondering if you would be free to do this large scale show in the UAE. I took my phone, I threw it across the room. I went,
Throw the phone.
burn, burn the witch.
What?
I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's actually cooked. Kept reading, and it was like, it's gonna be like a duet. It's like a circus duet with a robot. And I was like, that is so weird because it's like in a big outdoor
Okay.
stage for the kings and queens and sheikhs
Mhm.
of His Highness, Her Highness of all the
Kings
UAE,
and
of
queens.
Dubai, I don't know, the sheikhs of freaking everywhere, Morocco, Dubai, Saudi, all were gonna come. And I was like, oh, this feels like fake or something. Like, what is happening? And I voice noted her. I was like, oh my God, you won't believe. Like, I wrote this in my book last night, sent her a photo of it. She was like, what the hell? And she was like, okay, so are
That's
you free? And
interesting
I was
that you
like,
told
I'm
her. Wow.
I'm free. And like I left my
Yeah.
contract early.
Ooh.
Oh, because she was a cool girl. She was like an Aussie sick Leanne. Shout out to love her. Um,
Nice.
so I felt like comfortable to just tell her, and she was like, "That's so amazing!" La la. La. And then she was like, "I was like, well, I actually left my contract early, and I wouldn't have been able to do this if I had finished my other contract." So I really was like, divine timing. Everything happens for a reason. Even stuff where
Yeah.
it pulls you after this Turkey contract. I will tell you how it ended another day, but it pulled me into the deepest depression. I thought I would never come
Yeah.
out. It was fucking awful. Like, I'd never
Mm.
been that low in my life. For then, like, the universe to gift me, like,
It's
exactly what I wanted,
amazing.
it was
Mm.
amazing. And the contract was so cool. It was 3 months in Dubai doing National Day, and
That's
everyone
when we
else,
caught up, right?
yeah, and
Yeah.
it was like a solo, like, dance circus duo with this
Ooh.
robot arm. And I met such
I want to
cool
see
people
that.
again. Of course, I
Yeah.
go and hang out with the b-boys and the trickers and the parkour. I'm like, you're so
You're
cool.
a bit of a tricker now. I've seen, you used to just always fall on your head, and now it's impressive what you're doing. I was like, God,
Oh, thanks, Elise. Means a
it's
lot.
impressive. It's
Started from the
impressive.
bottom. Never give
And
up on your dreams, guys.
never.
Least
And
springy
man,
person ever.
you can take a hit. I've never seen such persistence with that because I remember, there's some people that just can flip, tumble. They're acrobatic on their hands, and you would just go for things. I've seen you land on your face many
Yeah,
times, and you just kind of
so
laugh.
many.
And now it's really impressive what you're doing. You're actually like flipping. You're a flipper. You're a
I'm a flipper.
tricker.
Oh, stop it. I'll take it. It because it took everything in me
I know. I
to be that.
saw.
But yeah, so then after that, that opened up a lot of doors for me because that was now I have contemporary, commercial, and
Mm,
like this large scale stuff. So
the
then
large
when I
scale,
started
you open the door.
manifesting house, which actually went on my vision board like a year before. I also make vision
Nice.
boards at every
I do
December.
that too. I've done that. I
Mm.
haven't done it in a while, but I used to do
Oh,
it, and I actually am a big believer of it, actually. I
my long hair
recommend.
was also on my vision board. It
Oh.
grew this much this year.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's quite good. You could just get
Yeah.
extensions, but I mean, well, not now that you're in a house. In a water show, you don't want hair extensions. Um, I've just
But
got
yeah.
to say, you've tapped on two really important and useful things that are a real thing. Number one, post-contract depression. I don't think it's talked about enough.
Fuck.
And it happens, especially if you've done a really great contract. Maybe it was only 11 months, 6 months, whatever, and it finishes. And then you're with this amazing group of people during the contract. You've got,
Yes.
money coming in, you're performing, you're training every day, probably on a luxury location, at a luxury location, maybe not, but you're having a great time, maybe even traveling during the contract. And then all of a sudden it ends. You're no
Yep.
longer with these people that were your best friends, maybe even a partner, and a lot of artists go into a really bad depression after the contract. Will I ever get a job like this again? That was the best contract I ever had. Will I get it again? I'm not with these people anymore. You feel sort of lost. You don't have that location. You usually have to move back home or somewhere else. And you
Yeah.
went from having some sort of stability, which is not that common either when you're a performer, because you can go, short-term contracts, you're all over the place. So you have that stability, and all of a sudden it's gone, and then you've got nothing until the next contract comes along. And people don't really talk about that enough, but it's a really serious thing. I think people can get really depressed, and it's really important to be able to know how to sort of visualize, manifest, and sort of get into a good headspace to then attract and be able to create future opportunities. Because if
Mm.
you're in that negative headspace for too long, it can actually block good opportunities coming to you, or you might miss them because you're not
True.
even open to it. But what you did was fantastic, because you do a version of what I call tapping into my creativity, where I'll just turn my phone off. I might meditate for a bit, journal, just see what comes out. I just start writing. And then it's a great way to sort of get rid of things that might be lurking in your subconscious, something that might be bothering you or that you're upset about,
Mm.
your deep down fears that you didn't even realize you had. And then you open up what you want. Then you tell the
Yes.
universe what you want. And by doing that, you enable those opportunities to come to you. You're opening your eyes, you're sort of accessing that part of your brain. It's really powerful, and it sounds a little bit airy fairy, but not only are you clarifying within yourself, which is really important, exactly what you want, and you painted a very detailed picture. I want it to be outside performing a big large scale production. you write all these little details down, you think about it, and it puts you on a different frequency to
Yes.
keeping your eye open for these opportunities, thinking about who maybe someone you could contact to be able to given the opportunity to audition for something like that.
Mm.
Um, and it just opens the creative pathways to then also even creating an act that could then get you to a contract like that. And I think that's really
Yeah.
important. And you did that without even realizing it. You somehow pulled yourself out of the depression long enough to get onto that frequency. And I don't think it was a coincidence that she
Yeah.
um, then, messaged you the next day. And I wouldn't call it witchcraft, but it's definitely some sort of unexplained thing because I've had similar weird experiences that I can't explain where I just sort of got into a different headspace, different
Mm.
frequency, and then something that I might have been thinking about just all of a sudden came to me. And it's really strange. I don't even know what it is, but it's just definitely
Yeah.
something you can access.
A higher
And
power.
oh, it's a
And
higher power.
I will say that this didn't come like the depression before that was really deep, and I was like, I have no. Actually, I
Yeah.
delved into during this time. I wrote a whole movie because I needed to do something
Oh,
creative. I had so much
yeah,
for me
yeah.
when I
The
get
creative outlet.
depressed. As long as I'm creating stuff, it
Mm,
helps me cope. I wrote like three
yeah.
songs, a movie, and
Oh, there we go.
it was so weird. Like I'd never been so productive with that in my life. But I couldn't
It's
train.
great.
I couldn't be
Yeah.
like physically creative. But I will
Mm-hmm.
say in the past, when I've gone back to like my family, I love them so much,
Mm,
but they don't understand. I went
mm,
to two of my friends in Montreal that were at the time working for Circus. So they were in
mm,
like a place where they were working, and I could see what they were doing every day. And I mean, I'm
mm,
so grateful for them during that time because they supported me so much. And actually, I
mm-hmm.
supported them as well. And that kind of like giving and receiving of like people who really understand what you're going through, like be
Yeah,
around them. And be around someone who is working, just so you have a point of reference. Because if you go to
it's
unemployed
true.
people or people who don't do our job, you will feel even more lost and crazy. So, like, try to surround
Definitely,
yourself
definitely.
with people who are where you want to be. And,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yes.
maybe that sounds selfish, but I
No,
know
no,
that during
no.
that time, I was good for them as well in different ways. And like, I think
Mm-hmm.
the only way I got out of my depression was being able to be also helpful to them and diving into creativity in a different way. And yeah,
Yeah, you just touched on again three super useful points. One, channel your creativity when you're sad, stressed, anxious, going through something. It can be the most powerful way of not only dealing with something you're going through, but also you can create some amazing art by doing that.
yeah,
And some of my greatest work has been when I've been, really upset or in a dark place, been being able to channel that. And also to really put yourself around that people that you would aspire to be like, or that they're sort of in line with your goals, because they say that you're, a product of the most the five people that you spend the
yes,
most time with. If you're going to hang
yes,
out with miserable people, you will also be miserable. If you're going to hang
yeah,
out with successful people that are doing what you want to do, it will rub off. Their energy will rub off. You will see
yeah,
how they operate. Oh, this person is not just lying in bed all day every day. This person's getting up. This person has hobbies. This person's being creative. This person's training. This person's planning, working towards something. They have structure. They've created their own structure. That mindset will also rub off on you. And it's super important for anyone,
100%. Yes,
especially for high level acrobats, artists. You want to be sort of, and you can help and you will grow as a person. And there's lots that you can offer too, and it's also a great reminder for them to see that for them to not take for granted what they have, because it can happen
yeah,
if you've been performing non-stop all over the world for 15 years. You can get a little bit complacent. It does happen. So it's
true.
important to also remember not to take it for granted. And it's not the longest career out of all the careers you can have as an artist. You've got to
Yep,
enjoy it while you can. It's not an
yeah.
easy career, but you do need to be grateful and not take it for granted, which I know for some people it's like, I'll never take it for granted, but you can and you
You
will when
do.
you've been
You
doing
can.
two shows every night for years and years and
Amen.
years and years. Doesn't matter how hard you struggle to get there, 10 years goes by and you can get complacent. So it's good to remember not to be. And I think you reminded them of that as well by being there. You
Yeah.
were in their orbit, you were in their area, and you take in from them and you give to them as well. So I think that's
Yeah.
important to
Yeah.
train and be around people that you would like to be like or that
Yeah.
inspire you.
But I will also say, in between contracts, as much as you're like, I have to hustle, I have to grind, I definitely need to get the next act together, I need to train, otherwise I'm going to fail. And you don't actually. And it's not going to last that long. So just calm the fuck down. Go
Yeah,
train in different ways. Go be creative in different ways. You will come back better than if you just
it's
grind
true.
yourself to the bone, cry at every session. Like, it's not
It's
fucking worth
true.
it. No
And
point.
ironically, taking the rest, it seems like, oh my God, but I don't want to take a rest, even just a little bit of a mental break to
Yeah.
reevaluate or enjoy what could be a short
I,
holiday. As soon as you start enjoying it, that's when something else will pop up as well. It's like, oh, I'm kind of enjoying having a bit of time off. Bang, you've got another contract and you're locked in for
you,
another 2 years. But
you know
like,
who taught me
don't
this
take it.
best?
Who?
My one of my best friends, Jazzy, she's a professional boxer, and
Oh,
fighters, when the lifestyle they have, we should actually take more inspiration from them as artists, because
yeah.
they have off season and they have on season.
Yes.
When she's off,
Seasons.
she is like, I don't care. I'm not gonna really, like, she coaches a bit, but she's like going
Yeah.
out for every meal. She's relaxing with her training. She's surfing. She's like, yeah, I have
Yeah.
time to do everything. La la la. Life's amazing. Party, cafe. No, still looking after herself, but like not
Yeah. Yeah.
drinking, but still like really just loving life. And when she then goes back to fight camp or training, she's like locked in. And she can, because she's given herself like
Yeah.
permission to have a holiday, even though she doesn't know
Yeah.
when the next fight is. She's like, this might be 2 weeks, this might be 3 months, this might be a
Mm,
year. I'm not taking it for granted if also this time that I'm being allowed to enjoy my life, because I know that's not going to last forever. And when I'm back in that
mm.
hustle mode, I'm going to be in hustle mode. And that also made me
True.
enjoy the breaks a lot more than I used to. Just like being with her
Hmm.
during her breaks as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's really useful advice because I mean, all athletes, football players, any tennis player, they all have an off season. The
Yeah.
circus, we don't have that, and there isn't even that sort of education that you should have an off season with your training or take it
Yeah.
down with your program every 5 weeks, have a lighter deload week. We don't do any of that. We just keep going, and then you see a lot of overuse injuries,
I know.
fatigue. Um, you can go backwards sometimes with your training. Like, why aren't I getting this skill? I'm doing it every day, non-stop hours of
Yeah.
training, the same thing over and over. It's overtraining and you're not letting your body recover, you're not letting your mind recover. So sometimes taking that short break or enjoying it when you have the short break can help reset you to then go back in stronger and better. You've just got to make sure you ease back into the training. Don't just go full blast, which
Yeah.
most used to do, and most people do. I still do it. I'm
All
trying not to do it. It's hard not
that.
to do,
Yeah,
but
it's
I
hard
think
not to.
it's a mental thing that a lot of circus artists don't really either they don't realize or they just don't allow themselves to sort of experience, you know,
Yes.
a proper
Yes.
break, enjoying the
Proper
downtime when you
break,
have it,
people.
and then
Not gonna last
coming
forever.
back stronger and
Yes.
being rejuvenated and not
And
freaking
being
out.
in a
Don't
good
freak out.
fucking mood to start a
Be in
new
a good
contract.
mood.
You don't want to be starting a
It's
contract in
true.
a depression, do you? No, you want to be like starting a contract like you've just come off holiday, as you
It's
should have.
true. Fresh
Yeah.
energy. Fresh
People love
energy
that. You walk
into
into a
they
room
do.
smiling when you come into a new
They do.
workplace. Who
Yeah.
doesn't love that?
And it can go. People have been
Who
in a
doesn't?
contract, especially in the same show for many years. They start
Mm.
to get a bit like down or just like they're in the routine of it. Sometimes it's nice to have someone new shake it up, someone with all this fresh energy. They're really excited to be there,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, look how energetic this person is. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice
Yeah.
change. Let's hope it lasts as well.
Let's see, and then they go, let's see how long it lasts, loser, dweeb. You're like, oh, jeez. And they're like, "Eh." like the old, like,
That just went to a whole new level. But I would really love to hear advice you've picked up along the way for aspiring and professional circus artists. Things you wish you'd done differently, things you still want to improve on. What are your tips? More tips, because you've already given so many.
ooh, I would say like if you admire someone, don't be afraid.
Mhm.
Like there's my rope idol, Lauren Joy Hurley.
Yes.
Damn it!
Beautiful. There we go.
One time I met her, no, one time I saw her in a training space and I never went up to her and said hello. And I could have been friends with her so many more years before I actually became, now we're just online friends, but I could have actually met her. And I would say, like, don't be
Yeah,
afraid
yeah.
to go up to people and tell them, wow, I really
Yeah.
admire you, I idolize you. Like,
It's true. It's
share.
true.
The more people you know in general is the best thing. If I'm on a contract, I
Hmm.
really try to get to know everyone and just
Mm.
because I think I'm more extroverted person in general, but it serves you so well. Like sometimes
It's important.
even companies will ask me, "Oh, do you know anyone for this?" And I'm like, "Actually, yeah, I met them in the summer of 2018 when I was on this contract, and oh, they were actually doing the tech, but now that I've seen across their journey, they do find your piece. So here is the person." And like, I don't know, they will do the same for you. Like sometimes I got in
Yeah,
contracts just because I know someone or the more people
it's
you know, the
true.
better. Not
Networking,
in a
it's
like,
important.
oh, networking.
No, no,
No,
it's like
just
an
like be a
organic, what I call
genuinely,
just be a nice person. That is the most genuine form of networking. Without even realizing
even
it,
when
you
you
are
feel like
networking.
shit. Yeah,
And yeah, it's important. You never know
be
who's
nice.
going to end up where. Be nice to everyone, be friendly, easy to work
Yeah,
with. Try not to piss people off. That's an important one.
yeah. I would say
Definitely.
also learning cultural differences can be important because Turkey
Yes.
was a big learning curve for me because I didn't understand how
Mhm.
different Australian culture is from others. We're very like everything's a joke. Like, I mean, personally. To me, I love to laugh. It is my life, making
That's
jokes,
good.
making
Keeps
people
you
laugh.
healthy.
Everything that is funny is for me. But
That's
other people
good.
sometimes think that that's you making
Yeah.
fun of the job or not taking it seriously.
Hmm.
So I think just like
Yeah.
understanding or at least explaining like I really love this job or like making it known to people, but I just really enjoy making people
Mm.
laugh. So tell me if it's too much or communicating like
Interesting.
that.
Yeah, for sure.
Um what other
There is a
tips
fine
do I
line.
have? There's a fine line.
It's,
And
there's a
yeah,
fine line.
even here sometimes people are like, "Oh my God, you're always laughing and not
Not
can you
everyone
be
likes it.
serious for 1 second?"
It's
And I'm
yeah.
like, I cannot.
You
I
could.
cannot. It's not part of who I am, unfortunately.
Yeah.
What else would I say? Like try to learn as many stuff as possible
Mm.
from the people you're around because they are not going to be
Hmm.
around you forever. Like I'm so glad
It's
that when
true.
I trained with people from different disciplines and learned stuff from them because
Hmm.
yeah, share your knowledge. Don't be greedy with your knowledge as well. If
Share.
someone wants to learn from
Share.
you, share it. Jesus Christ. It's
Yes.
not fucking like we're keeping the secrets to the taking over the world or something. Like, oh my God. Also online, just share your shit. Like, I don't like
It's
when people are
true.
like, that's my trick. I don't want people to copy me. Well, if they copy you, you better be already 3 weeks ahead of what you just posted anyway. So don't worry about it. They can take it and you're still ahead of them.
That is another interesting topic, but I think it is very important to share, work with people, teach them something new
Yes.
without necessarily expecting them to teach you something new. But then they will, and the more you give, the more sort of comes back without you even
Oh,
realizing it. So be open.
yes.
And
I
I
love
definitely and going back to what you said earlier about don't be afraid to go up to someone that you know respect or that you follow on Instagram in the circus world because it is a small industry and it's we all have the people that we like to watch or you know our inspiration along the way and that's fantastic and then one day someone comes up to you and says how you've inspired them and you that makes your day and you can make somebody else's day give that love to them by saying I really admire your work you know I follow you or I've
Mm.
seen this act or this performance. It was fantastic. And I
Yeah.
think the more you can give with just your soul, I don't say soul, your heart, you're giving,
Oh,
you're not afraid to give your
yes. Oh.
information. You're not afraid to give your information,
Yeah.
what you've learned, pass on any wisdom, be there for people, and it just makes your experience better, makes other people's experience better, and then it just creates a higher energy for everybody,
Yeah.
and it'll work out better for everyone. Good
And
things will
then
happen.
last piece of advice, be you be even though it's different to what I just said, be unique and like don't
Yeah.
like do different stuff, be inventive, be creative, be a someone who
Mhm.
changes the game up a little bit. Like, oh,
Yeah, for
you
sure, for sure.
suddenly doing shit that other people don't do. It's inspiring, even if it's ugly and embarrassing.
Mhm.
Like, fuck, the amount of embarrassing acts
Oh
I have
man, yeah,
made and performed is
me too.
unreal. It's shameful, really. But
No, it's
yeah,
part of
don't
the
be afraid
process.
because that's how you find now people. I mean, I'm not saying anything about, people are like, wow, you're really, really unique on rope. Like, and I'm like,
Yeah.
thank you, because it took a lot of me doing some cringy as fuck shit to find that.
100%. I have always
You've
said
seen
the
it.
only
You've seen
way,
my baby act.
but we did the baby act together. We were both babies at one point. Remember on the rope? We did the synchronized baby act and sang your Nika. I love that. I got great feedback from that baby act.
Great feedback.
I've been a baby on a rope.
Mm.
But that actually
Also,
opened doors. That opened doors down the track.
comedy.
And no, but even not comedy, it opened other doors. It did. It
To,
did.
to
Wait.
announcing that I'm pregnant.
Okay, that one's different. That was a
So
different.
gross.
But comedy's
Oh,
good too. I've done comedy, and I've just got to say that the process of creating involves a lot of ugliness, and there's a lot of beauty in that raw, ugly those raw, ugly
and you
moments.
shock
It's
people.
art. It's art,
You
and
shock people.
Don't be afraid to try something new. Don't be afraid to shock people. Don't be afraid to shock yourself. And
Yeah,
to enjoy the process. That's the whole point of it. If you're not
yeah,
having fun, you've got a creative block. So I think that's really important what you said. Just
yeah.
don't be afraid to look ugly. That's the only way you can experiment. That's the only way you can try new things with your art,
Like,
explore,
be cringy as fuck.
be
Be
cringy. I
cringy as
love it.
fuck.
It means you're
Yeah,
going there.
and
You're able to push
yeah,
yourself to that next creative level. You're not so worried
yeah,
about what
because
everyone's thinking that you've got a block.
yeah, you don't want to block creative ideas as well. Because trust me,
You
you
need,
block that
yeah,
idea, you're gonna see the next bitch over there doing that exact idea that
it's
you
true.
just went, that's not good
It's
enough for
true.
me, and then you're like, oh, that's
It's
so
true.
good. When she did it, that was my
Yeah.
idea. And but okay, the idea didn't land. You went, and it went landed on someone
Hmm.
else. So don't block.
I think
That's
that is
my advice.
super, super useful. Honestly, I feel even more inspired remembering all these things because it is
Yeah,
easy to almost forget sometimes. You just get into your daily routine, and I think accessing the creativity is something you should never forget. No matter how hard you're training, what you're training on, what you're working on, even if you're learning somebody else's show, somebody else's choreography, take the time to do something creative for yourself, even if it's not
yeah,
physical. Draw, write, write a poem, play music.
literally. Because
It
also
opens the
creativity,
creative
the
juices.
sphere. Yeah, it's also like a really important. If you close that and you stop doing like other creative
Mm,
practices, you're closing it. Like you can't expect to
mm,
be inspired in your craft if you're not doing anything creative outside
that's
it.
true.
Like force yourself to do it. Just stay
Mm,
creative. Like that's yeah, that's
it's
important. I love how you
super
said it.
important. And I think honestly, one of the things that try to make the effort to do is to turn TV off sometimes for
Yeah,
2 days in a row, and
yeah.
your phone, which is difficult, and that you by get not getting those dopamine highs that you usually rely on with TV and all
Yeah.
the
I need
things
to
that
be
you might
better at
be
this.
getting
Love
by just
Island,
taking that
Australia.
that
Shout out.
quiet. I better see you on that show one day. No, but seriously, by cutting it out, by cutting out the external dopamine hits, you can then create access a deeper creative level within yourself. And I've tried this many times, and I'll just write. I'll write and meditate,
What
and
about
my God, you will not believe the ideas that can come to you when you just start writing. You're like, I don't even
amazing?
know what I'm writing. You might even write that and write with a pen and paper. It's more,
Yeah,
I
even
don't know
like
what it is,
pages,
better than on a computer.
just writing
I
stream
just
of consciousness
write.
to start the practice.
Yes,
Yeah,
ideas will flow.
where
Um,
energy
go with it.
goes. Yeah.
But honestly, I thank you so much for all this useful information.
I
So
loved that chat.
entertaining.
That was
I
fun.
I could keep chatting for hours with you. Like I feel like we're just out for coffee in different countries.
I
But I'm
know, make me miss you.
Yeah, I miss you too. And thank you, honestly,
Wonderful.
because I know a lot of
That was
artists will really
fun.
benefit from all of your insight, your experience, and it's fantastic to see that you're thriving, performing in House of Dancing Water, training, loving life on a high, natural high all the time. It's
Yeah,
fantastic
baby.
and
Keep that trajectory.
attainable. Keep the trajectory, keep the focus, keep the fun in your training and your creativity, and you will all get there. But thank
Yes.
you again. I'm going to leave with her dancing on this amazing high. Thank you again,
Stay happy,
and
be full.
stay stay happy. And I will see you all again soon, and I will see you hopefully soon.
No, I hope so
Thank
too.
you.
I loved that. Thank you for having me, Elise. You're a
You're
G.
welcome.
Mm,
Thank you.
bye,
Have a
boo.
great day. Bye.